I'm a big fan of brawls. You know this in the stands. We have good fan brawls here and there.
Fights are fun.
Yeah, it's normally one-on-one. Sometimes, you get like you have the gang up on one guy, right? The one drunk fan that is pissing everyone off. Last night.
It's usually one fan that's got the upper hand at a stadium.
And
the other fan
leverage
is the one talking back, and you don't ever see what the fan with the upper – it's someone behind them shooting the action, and you never see what the fan up top is saying. And before you know it, it's just like a rat-a-tat-tat, 2 punches.
Real fast.
And the fan on the lower end of it is just tumbling down the bleachers.
Quickly.
Those are fun fights to watch.
Last night, Malice in the Palace 2 is immediately what was being discussed with Soccer on Fox with the Copa America between Uruguay and Colombia. Maybe it broke out because of the way I just said Uruguay instead of Uruguay.
Maybe they're offended by the pronunciation from the Colombians.
Colombia scores late, and then trash talk ensues. You have players from Uruguay going into the stands. Melee breaks out. And then this is when I see this, when you see the fights from soccer, especially with the players going in, I'm thinking this is somewhere in like South America. This is in Charlotte.
Yeah.
A
stadium that you and I have both been to.
Yeah.
Bank of America Stadium.
And you had the controversy that went back to Arrowhead last week, now in Charlotte here. Craziness. And and on one hand, I'm thinking this is awesome, because we've got the different views here that we're looking at. And on the other hand, I'm thinking it's crazy to me this doesn't happen more often. MLS is very tame. A lot of kid-friendly type environments. You have the different histories, of course, that go back, a century plus in some cases with different countries, and why you see more fights, maybe some fire set, vandalism.
Yeah, where are the flares? In South America, you see all those flares and smoke bombs everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Most fights we see.
Was that a shoe that went flying?
Anything goes, Chad. This is bring your own weapon night to the arena. Even the guy that in the red right there that just got a quick shot in and then backs up. You see him? And the white hat towards us, wearing number 1. He just he jacked up somebody, then finally others saw him throw the sucker punch. It's craziness. And it was, certainly
I shouldn't be surprised at the foot speed that we're seeing with soccer fans, but there's a lot of quickness happening.
Yeah. But you got the players going in, and it's rare that you see the players going into the stands, right? And in this case, apparently that's some family members, some wives, girlfriends, kids, infants that were up there as the Colombian fans are talking trash after their victory, during their victory.
Was that a player that was wearing the sports bra that just threw a punch, or a woman? I can't see from behind. The person with the ponytail, that's got to be a player, right? Because they're just laying people out. They have that soccer bra. You know what I'm talking about. They wear like the
sports bra.
It looks like a sports bra, but it's for male soccer players.
Yes.
I think that's a male Uruguayan soccer player that's just throwing haymakers on fans. See what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Right here. It laid one guy out immediately. I'm like, that's
either a player or that's Ronda Rousey.
It's one tough broad. My first thought was, boy, that's some broad shoulders in that woman. Is that Leah Thomas taking the stands? I can't tell.
Oh, nice pause there. Yeah, we see.
There it is.
We're going back and forth with.
Watch Leah Thomas connect on this right
center of
hook
your screen. It's either Leah Thomas or it's the chick from Dodgeball.
Right.
Center of the screen. You can see the black sports bra. Well done, Chad. Well, this is great eyesight here.
This could be Leah Thomas going after Riley Gaines' family in the stands if they ever compete against each other again.
Brad Gaines would hold his own.
I think I'd take Brad Gaines in that fight.
I'd take the
against Leah Thomas for sure.
You don't want to mess with them.
But don't F with the Uruguayans is the message that I see here, because this dude with a ponytail is going in there and going rat-a-tat-tat on some Colombians' heads. You think that there's a cartel hit on any of these guys now today?
I mean, no.
I would not want to go into the stands with a bunch of Colombian soccer fans, and they had no problem at all going in and throwing fisticuffs.
You got Darwin Nunez for Liverpool that's a part of this. You got going into the stands. And you got drinks flying, a shoe flying, sports bras out. The brawl's on with got a crowd that's roughly, 70,000 there. And their captain, Jose Maria Jimenez. Here is his description as to what happened and why this fight ended up in the stands with players there.
Que te quieren cortar. Que por favor tengan cuidado, porque las familias están en la tribuna. Nos hicieron una avalancha a toda nuestra familia, la hinchada de un cierto sector de Colombia, y no nos dejan hablar en el micrófono. Lo voy a decir ahora porque sé que lo puedo decir, porque si no te cortan. Esto es un desastre, esto es un desastre. Nuestra familia corrió peligro. Tuvimos que meternos como pedo para arriba de la tribuna a sacar a nuestros seres queridos con bebés chiquitos recién nacidos. Un desastre todo, no había un solo policía, cayeron a la media hora. Un desastre. Y nosotros ahí dando la cara por nosotros, por lo nuestro. ¿Tá? Ojalá que los que están organizando esto tengan un poco más de cuidado con las familias, con la gente y con los alrededores de los estadios, que es todo un desastre porque todos los partidos pasa lo mismo. Nuestras familias están sufriendo por culpa de algunos que se toman dos traguitos de alcohol que no saben tomar, que se comportan como unos niños y no son decentes. ¿Tá? Ojalá que tengan precaución en los próximos partidos, que no vuelva a suceder esto porque es un desastre.
So this is the global soccer culture meets American sports perception right here.
Yeah.
Because he's saying, the families protect the families. If you go to an NFL game, there is a player family section about as close, probably the same area in Charlotte for the Panthers game as it is right here. They probably put them in the same area. The different reaction there. You're not expecting. Again, I don't know this. I'm just presuming. Well, the families can be down here because if you go to an NFL game, you go to a college football game, families are going to be in the crowd.
Yeah.
And in this case, well, everyone wants to fight, especially if you can't hold your liquor. It's nuts. I would have gone to the crowd too, by the way.
I'm very
if
confused.
You've got infants.
I'm very confused about the organization of the Copa America, that you're hosting games in the United States, and according to this Uruguayan captain,
yes,
essentially American authorities and Charlotte authorities and Bank of America Stadium treated this as you would treat an MLS game.
Yeah.
That you're not really looking for big incidents to happen, and they're not understanding that when Uruguay and Colombia get together for a soccer match on the international stage, there could be fireworks in the stands or things could happen. So you've got the Uruguayan captain calling out the event, the organizers, the stadium security, everyone involved. You've got another instant where an American soccer match is shot from the Mars in one game for no reason at all, and then halfway through the first half, they get it on the right camera at the right level. Disaster was the word that he used over and over. That was a disaster from a security standpoint, and I'm definitely sympathetic to the players if they're witnessing their family members with newborns in the stands being harassed by drunk Colombian soccer fans and no one doing anything about it, so they had to take it in their own hands. And I admire that about the Uruguay players. But
I don't know if you can stop it, though.
Get your stuff together, Charlotte.
Don't know if you can. I don't know if it's
get your
Charlotte.
Stuff together, Copa America. But I mean, you can have more than one cop or security guard.
But
around the family.
Again, this is the American culture meets the international culture, right?
Yeah,
here. You have the same security staff.
Well,
that would be working a concert, working a game.
First things first. The Colombian fans don't need to get so drunk that they're throwing things at family members of the Uruguay players.
I think that would be routine. Again, the fights in the soccer from this type of competition, this is almost routine now. It doesn't happen in MLS because that's not what we would expect, right? In this case, I mean, seeing a fight in a soccer match now, especially between you've got South American countries and you've got all the trash talk and I think it's very normal. It's been normalized. You normally see this between fans on fans.
Yeah, I don't think that
and not the players' families.
Yeah, there's nothing normal about teams having to storm the crowd to go fight fans.
That's right. That's what's different about it.
Yeah.
But as far as the trash talk and the reaction, I mean, it's not like if this happened in South America, the fight breaks out is probably worse.
Yeah, if it happens in Bolivia, there's deaths.
But it's probably worse with more people involved.
That's my point. There's going to be fatalities in certain South American countries if it happens.
But I mean, I don't know how you prevent it from a. You're totally outnumbered here if you're security.
You're totally outnumbered if you're Uruguay too when the team goes in the stands.
Well, how I'm also they're certainly trash talking in a different language.
Yeah.
And if it's fan on fan, again, it's just kind of like you go down and you remove them.
It's a rough time for U.S. soccer.
Oh, yeah.
That's
a good point.
Canadians are talking shit about you. Okay? That's A. 2 is the fact that
U.S. football 20 and under.
You fired your coach.
Football and football.
You fired your coach, and let's just start going down the list of Germans to turn down the job because there's no qualified American, apparently, to coach the U.S. soccer squad. C, I'm going A to C.
You're good.
C, you've got Uruguay's captain calling out everyone that's there around the event as a disaster, that there's one security guard or cop in the area, and people are being threatened, so the Uruguayan players had to storm the stands to protect their loved ones and newborns. That's not a great look, regardless if they're right or not. He may not be right, by the way. The Uruguayan captain. There could have been a lot more security guards that he didn't know about. It's just a bad time for U.S. soccer. I don't know what rock bottom looks like, Hutton, but I hope we're approaching it right now for a low moment for U.S. soccer.
Here's the thing, too. It took, like, the actual authorities a long time to arrive and break this up. But the security surrounding a field on a typical game day in the NFL, they're getting paid between $17 and $25 an hour.
Right.
You know? I don't count that as the authority. You know, you're looking for the police, the officers there. It took them a while to get there. In
these South American countries, they have military that guards the games at times.
Yeah.
So that's what they're accustomed to in different places they go and play. So I understand all of that. And I can understand how if you're Bank of America Stadium, you're not expecting this brawl between players and fans to take place in the stands.
You don't need the National Guard there.
It's just all of
it.
Regardless of who's to blame or what's happening, and I would assume that the drunk fans are probably to blame the most, and that's a problem.
And that's what the player pointed out.
It's a bad time for American soccer.
His quote about the players the fans not be able to hold their liquor. It's a disaster. All the matches are the same. Our families are suffering because of some who drink 1 or 2 shots of alcohol that don't know how to drink, who behave like children and are not decent. And you have Darwin Nunez, who's in for Liverpool. He's in there. He's photographed afterwards with a infant, I don't know, like a 2-year-old maybe. Holding his kid. It's crazy, man.
Bad time for American soccer. It's just not a good look at all right now. And now Uruguay, after losing, is blaming American security and organizers for an incident in the stands. It's not good.
Do you want to put your family down there? If you're Uruguay?
Hutton,
would you do it?
If I was a soccer player anywhere other than the United States or Canada, to where it's a huge deal.
To do that? Yeah, I know.
I mean,
To put your family there?
My wife and newborn child or 2-year-old child is going to be as far away from the pitch as They're not going to the match. Like that is a demand. Like, no, I will go to the States and play in this tournament. You will stay home.
That's the thing,
and watch the child. Like this is not a good environment to be in. And it's not like they weren't raised in this environment, so they don't know what it's like.
But it's almost like it's crazy. It's just nuts,
I can't imagine even being an NFL player and wanting to go into a hostile environment with a small child to go watch you. That's one where you let the in-laws or your parents watch them for the weekend or the day, and your wife goes to the game. I mean, the wife can hold their own in the family section, but I don't know that you want to bring
to this threat though.
Not at all. But point being, that's how guarded I would be for a small child. Even if I were a professional athlete, I would not want them to go to Green Bay, and sit in Lambeau Field if they were that small, especially if it was winter.
But Green Bay's tame, by the way.
Yeah, of course. But that's my point.
Them in Kansas
Show
City.
me the tamest NFL stadium, and I would not want my 2-year-old to go into that environment, much less a damn South American soccer match with fans that are ready to torch the stadium if they lose. No, I would not want that.
Can we cue up the one of these angles one more time, please? Just to see I want to see the total melee. This is towards the end. Here we go. Here's another fan.
See, now I see the front side of the guy in the brawl. Bro.
Yes.
He was moving some people.
Yeah,
He's getting held
that's
back and
Nicole
still
Bass.
moving some people.
Nicole Bass from just China, from WWF.
Is that X-Pac that I see? About to come off the top rope?
That would have been One Night in China. That's the video that he made.
That's right. Forgot about X-Pac being a part of that fine film.
Oh. But, yeah, here we go.
I see one guy with a cowboy hat. I see a cowboy hat being waved. A gaucho.
Look at everyone just watching. Just turning around and just watching this.
I love the photographers down the field.
Yes.
Calmly shooting away.
The guy in the suit.
Guy in the suit doing
He
nothing.
doesn't want to fight.
No.
I wouldn't either.
Now, if you bring up a solid point. If you're making what, $12 an hour or whatever,
Yeah,
$15 an hour to do that game.
It's more optics than action.
Yeah.
Here.
I don't.
Well, again, I've
not
said this in the
looking to
NBA. I'm surprised we don't see more of this in the NBA with the front row baseline courtside seats and the trash talk that goes on behind the bench. I mean, you can reach out and touch LeBron James if you want to as he's coming on the court. Now we were seeing more trash talk, but not to this level. And again, I saw this and I'm thinking, oh, what happened in Mexico tonight? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's go live down
Let's go to the border.
To Chile.
We head to the
for
border.
a match and see what's going on. Instead, it's in Charlotte.
Exactly.
I don't. Do soccer fans celebrate this part of it?
Yes.
Like if you love the beautiful game, like do
because
you love this also?
Yeah, because this is their culture, their religion. You've got bad blood that goes back generations.
Yeah, it's the perfect marriage of like bro culture, of wanting fights and action all the time, and the guys who would normally make fun of soccer for being too slow and nothing happening.
Maybe this is why U.S. soccer sucks.
I see this happening, and I'm thinking, man, Hutton, I went and Googled the name of the Uruguayan coach. His name is Marcelo Bielsa, and I say that because why is America not talking to him?
Yeah.
I mean, if you got a guy that coaches a group of men ready to go in the stands and fight opposing fans, I want to bring that to America.
I thought you were going to say his name was John Smith. He's the American coach that's really good.
Yeah, he's actually from Topeka, Kansas, and now he coaches in Uruguay.
Oh, man.
I want this attitude with American soccer.
Yeah, we need to take this attitude to Canada, is what you're saying.
Instead, in the words of Keith Bullock, when I thought I was going to have to go into a fight with former NFL player Keith Bullock,
and Keith came out
he took
to
one
help
look
you.
at the situation and said, yeah, these guys don't want to fight, and then walked back into the party that we were at.
That is a alpha move.
That's how Uruguay would look at America.
Look at this man.
They'd say, these guys don't want to fight.
This is the Bill Belichick older brother right here.
He looks like, honestly, a mix of Brian Billick and Bill Belichick physically.
He does.
He's right in between both of them.
It's the eyes and the grimace.
This man right here is my pick for new U.S. soccer coach. Marcelo Bielsa. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that correctly. I don't care. Everyone can see him right now. This man right here should lead America out of the darkness, into the light.
And we need Puma.
Into a World Cup title, into the stands if needed, and we will rip the heart out of opposing players or fans if needed, like Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones style, ripping the heart out of someone. This is the man who could lead us.
How about Colin chiming in, our soccer aficionado and the mega fan? This guy is not going to be considered because he does not speak English. The U.S. Federation has said that.
I was going to ask today. I'm glad Colin brought that up because I'm looking at all the German, nominees, candidates for the job that he sent. Yeah, and I was half joking. I'm like, what's the next German on the list? And
next question for Pop.
Colin gives us the next German guy. And I was going to say, like, is speaking English really clearly a requirement for the job or not?
If it is, we're making the wrong
English
choice.
is going to be a second language, second or third language for everyone.
They're saying it is going to be a requirement.
Yeah, but how, like you said, next question for Pop Guy.
Yeah, the German reporter back in the NBA Finals.
If that guy's coaching me, even speaking English, I'm not going to understand everything he's saying. So I'm talking about clearly speaking English.
Yeah.
Can we get the video of Ellie De La Cruz speaking again?
Learning Japanese.
Should he lead? He speaks English, but not that well. Again, not making fun. I only speak one language.
Right.
Good for him. He's speaking a second language. But do you want that leading your country as a coach if you're not speaking the language clearly?
Chad, America, the most American thing I can say about sports is we win. We want to win. Regardless of what's going on off the pitch or off the field or off the court, on off the beach for volleyball. I want to win.
Yes.
I want gold. So if this is the right man for the job, let's do it.
I don't care if he speaks Swahili.
Yeah.
Let's let him design some plays and get some heart into our players. That's what I want to see. And even better than heart, some skill. Some playmaking ability out on the pitch. I want all of these things.
Chad, you're saying that our
what is
the Americans representing us for United States for U.S. soccer? Their family should be we should play Colombia.
Yeah,
we should send our families to right first row, and then we find out who wants to be on the team and who doesn't, based on if they're going into the stands.
I don't wish harm to any family or player, but here's what I would like. This is my wish, like the segment on ESPN. This is my wish, Hutton.
I can hear Rascal Flatts now.
I wish for all opposing countries and players to think twice about sending their family to America to watch a match against the Americans. Not because anything bad's going to happen,
right?
But because in the back of their mind they're thinking, man, these damn Americans get after it. These fans get after it. I don't know that I want to put my family in that environment. When we play a friendly in Arrowhead Stadium in July, I don't know that I want to bring my family there because these American fans are so damn crazy. I'd love for Marcelo Bielsa of Uruguay or anyone to bring that type of energy to American soccer. Instead, the American energy with soccer is a line from the great Ricky Bobby when he meets Sacha Baron Cohen's character when he asks what language he speaks. And he says, we speak American because we're in America, because you're in America. That's how we treat our coaching search.
How many brawls would look like that if our players went into the stands? I'm not sure. Well, we wouldn't be at this level, would we?
I don't.
That sucks.
I mean, again, I would just like. I don't know that I want it to matter to the point of violence.
Also,
in all honesty, but I would like for it to matter more.
No, yeah, I don't want the violence. I'm just saying, like, hypothetically, like WWE promo level. These guys, by the way, was anyone cut up at all? I don't see any blood. That's nuts to me.
I didn't see any blood.
You watch the bare knuckle fights and you're getting cut. Like if someone up there is wearing a badass, cartel ring that's going to connect with you. You know what I mean? In the stands.
There was a lot of running, and I couldn't really tell if it was running away or running towards people.
Watch this brawl again. It's just the overhead shot. Look at this. No, I don't. The players are like almost spotless. I mean, they're so quick, and they're like the heavyweight champ in the ring.
Well, their hands are lightning fast too, and some of the fans that come in throwing punches. Who's the guy in the cutoff? See, that's got to be a family member because he's got someone's jersey on.
He wants it. Now, there's a guy in red. Watch the guy in the red with the white cap.
At least
here's the
they
one
didn't
thing
hit the woman when she broke it up.
Yeah,
that was good to see. They backed away when the bald guy's fighting everyone.
Craziness, man.
That guy's ready to fight. See, the two people in the number 20.
We're lucky that more people want to pull out their phones and capture this than actually join in.
I always like how...
We're lucky because without the phones, we wouldn't be able to show you this.
Yeah. It looks like, boy, they feel really safe just standing that close to the action and filming.
How about the chip right here in the blue?
Having been around
look at her.
Fights that are that close, it's really not that threatening when you're like 3 rows behind it.
I don't know about this, man.
But if you watch the crowd go in, I'd be a little bit nervous that old boy in the sports bra would come up and just deck me for wearing a Colombian jersey.
Just kind of just watching, observing. Yeah. Let's go. I just want to go with Colin. Colin, would you join in on this, or would you watch?
I was hoping for a fight like this when Messi came to Nashville.
Yeah.
But instead, everyone that was there to support Messi was probably 10 years old next to us. So probably would have been bad if we started fighting them.
What if we see a brawl like this at the WNBA All-Star Game?
Oh, it would be gold for the sport.
I think it's going to coming up July 20th, a week from, what is it, Saturday? I believe it is Saturday night.
Yep. This Saturday's the 13th.
It's going to be a massive success. And what Chad and I clamor for on these All-Star weekends is just something competitive. We don't get it in the NFL. Certainly not getting it in the NBA with, final score 237 to 214 or whatever it was. No defense whatsoever. This is going to be because the last time that the U.S. national team competed against the WNBA All-Stars, they lost going to Tokyo, which means it's going to be the best All-Star weekend in terms of the best from the WNBA not on Team USA, and some snubs. And the storylines of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, you'll get those All-Stars against the U.S. women's national team. Bring it. And Caitlin Clark has already discussed this, where she's all for teaming up with Angel Reese. She is also trying to downplay it, saying she doesn't want to take away from the overall weekend and have it be about just those, her and Reese again. It will be, and that's one of the aspects of tuning in, to see them on the same team. Angel Reese discussing it as well.
There's been a ton made, right? You and Caitlin Clark, you're going to be teammates for the first time during the All-Star Game next Saturday. What's that going to be like for you both to be sharing a team after you all have helped to grow this sport so much?
It's going to be really cool. I mean, I know so many fans are going to come out to watch both of us, but I know a lot of people are just going to be able to come to Phoenix. I'm sure it's already sold out. So being able to be in that environment, we're going to be playing together for a while, so this is not going to be the first time. I know All-Stars again. I know hopefully 2028 will be Olympians together too.
Ooh.
So being able to enjoy this, I'm going to Paris too to go watch the Olympics, so I'm excited for that too.
So there you go. Like, this is going to be awesome. This is like Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage forming the Mega Powers. And I bet they go and win. I bet both of them show up and show out live on ABC. They'll bring it. I can't wait for this.
I don't ever want them, though, to truly be friends. Am I wrong for wishing this upon both of them? Because my fear now,
they won't
Hutton,
be,
is
because it will be everyone claiming that it's racism
Angel
won't have an
Reese,
argument anymore. That
Angel
will remain.
Reese will always want to say something. She's going to talk her stuff, no matter what. So I think there's always going to be a divide between them. But my point is here, you don't get a lot of them like hanging out, texting each other. There's not this facade of, boy, they're competitors on the court, but they're best friends off of it, and they talk all the time. I like that.
Sure.
I like a separation. I don't like people exchanging jerseys after every game and being best friends and yucking it up with the opponent after a loss.
Caitlin Clark
and all
wouldn't do that either.
And that's what I just want to keep that. Like, throughout their career, I just want that to remain the same. I'm not saying I want them to fight each other and not pass the other one the ball when they're on the Olympic team in 2028 together. I want to see some fun teamwork between them at an All-Star game or at the Olympics. But let's keep the hate real. Between the two of them. We know the hate's going to be real between people who use whatever platform to espouse racism on one side or the other, right? That's going to remain. That whole fake facade of it will continue to be the same. I want legitimate dislike between those two women going head to head. I don't want fake manufactured BS. I want real dislike between those two women. That's what I want.
And it remains.
And it's there right now. I believe that it's
not
legitimately there.
It's not going anywhere.
Let's keep it that same. I hope you're right, Hutton. Let's keep it there.
It's not going anywhere. And the U.S. women's national team, if Clark were on the roster, they'd pass for the basketball too, and they'd still be jealous of her. Even though there are players, I'm sure, on the Indiana Fever that are jealous of Caitlin Clark. You know?
I mean, there's never going to be a scenario where WNBA players aren't jealous of Caitlin Clark unless there's a WNBA player who gets twice as much exposure, twice as much media coverage, twice as many endorsements, a bigger salary, all of those things. That's the only way it's going to change. They're going to continue to be jealous if not.
After 2 years of this, though, we finally see them team up in the middle of what is a heated race for the Rookie of the Year with 20 games to play.
Did we ever think we'd care about the WNBA Rookie of the Year as much as we do right now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't right now with 20 games left. I don't. I wonder how much we care in September when your favorite team is about to kick off on a Saturday and the regular season's coming to the end in the WNBA. And the performances.
I don't think we'll ever care to that level, even like during the season, to watch a game and say, oh, this is the game that's going to put one over the top. We're going to care with the reaction. Whoever gets it, there's going to be a huge reaction. If it's even remotely close, statistically, we are going to get a gigantic reaction either way. There's going to be someone saying that oh, Caitlin Clark gets the benefit of the doubt because she's a straight white girl because she won it. And then if Angel Reese won it, it's going to be, oh, the woke media of the WNBA couldn't let Caitlin Clark, who deserved Rookie of the Year, win. If it's close statistically.
If Angel Reese wins it, she'll have to earn it.
If it's close statistically.
It's not
that's
close
the thing.
now.
I don't think it is either.
Yeah. And this is like the
now, Angel Reese is doing way better than I think anyone expected. I'll give her props for that. I mean, the fact she's that close.
The double-doubles, like, again, she's making it a discussion. It's not really a debate.
Yeah.
And this feels like the Aaron Rodgers hate when everyone but Hub Arkush voted for the dude to win MVP.
Well, Aaron Rodgers is the perfect example, analogy of this, because if you're voting,
he's just that damn good.
If you have, I believe in responsibility if you have voting power over anything, whether it be for elected officials or for Heisman Trophy winners or NFL MVPs or WNBA Rookie of the Year. Look at the sport, look at the stats, look at what they did. Give me your honest sport opinion of what happened. But Hub Arkush, Hutton, is the great example of this is an opportunity for someone in the media to show how much they care about something bigger than sports. And Hub Arkush cared a lot more about COVID and masks and vaccines than he did football. So he told everyone, I'm voting with something bigger than sports, and I am penalizing Aaron Rodgers, even though he is the MVP. I'm penalizing him because he didn't get a vaccine. And I hate that. But there's going to be WNBA media members that decide, I'm going to vote for a bigger cause now, which should never be involved, ever.
But there is not a bigger cause here. The bigger cause is getting the WNBA more than what they're getting now with all the players. Caitlin Clark's brought that to the league. And I view that year with Aaron Rodgers the opposite way. Hub Arkush doesn't have a vote anymore. And everyone else, I would say the vast majority of the NFL media that was voting that year agree with Hub Arkush. But they didn't vote Hub Arkush's way because they stuck with their priority.
They did what they're supposed to do.
Who's the best player?
Yeah,
they was the most valuable player that year.
They were responsible to their voting privilege.
And Hub Arkush doesn't hold that vote anymore.
It's exactly what everyone that holds a vote for any sports award, that's how they should handle it.
Now,
I'll say, too, that you're right. That's what WNBA media should be concerned with. Let's keep the interest in our sport.
Well, if they voted right now, Caitlin Clark would win.
Agreed. I think the Monica McNutts of the world, though, they would rather have fewer fans if having more fans meant having a lot of the fans that are Caitlin Clark fans.
Was it Friday or Monday? I can't remember, when we played the Monica McNutt cut about who she would vote for. And she was, I think it was last Friday when she said this, she was basing it off of the standings. But by Monday, the Fever were ahead of the Sky in the standings. Because at the time, the Sky, they were in the playoffs.
So she was going to vote for Angel Reese because of that? Angel Reese,
and who had elevated their team more based on where they were last year. Well, now Indiana is also in the postseason. I don't know. I haven't looked at, I haven't tuned into ION to find out the current NBA playoff standings with 20 games left. But one was the 7 seed, one was the 8 seed. And so we play the cut, and based on what Monica said, well, let's just listen to Monica McNutt here on why she would vote Angel Reese at the time, which means if you hear this, based on her criteria, as long as the Fever is still, Chad's looking this up, as long as the Fever are ahead of the Sky, she's going to vote Caitlin Clark. Listen to this.
I have said this all season, BC. My Rookie of the Year is going to go based on the standings. Okay. Because I think that is how you have the opportunity to measure impact.
And the Sky is right above them.
And the Sky right now are in the playoffs, so you'd have to give the nod in my mind to Angel Reese. Look, the double-double streak that she's rocking and rolling, chasing down, 12 double-doubles to start is the record that spanned over 2 seasons. She's already gotten to 11. I think when you sit back and you look at what's around her, head coach Teresa Weatherspoon in her first year, there's not another #1 draft pick on that roster currently. There's not another All-Star on that roster currently from years past. Indiana, they are building blocks.
Yeah.
Aaliyah Boston, Rookie of the Year, #1 pick last year. Obviously, Caitlin Clark this year. Kelsey Mitchell has had big-time seasons over the course of her career. So there's more there in terms of the supporting cast around Caitlin, but both of them have been incredibly impressive. And I think those odds don't really indicate how close this race is.
Yeah, I love it. To me, I go back to like when Bird and Magic were first in the NBA. This is kind of what we got going on right now in the W.
For sure. It's fantastic. Obviously, the games between the two of them are the highest rated. So you got to give each their requisite credit due in that one. And I got to say, of both of them, I have so much respect. The eyeballs are as big as they've ever been, and they are showing up and entertaining. Both have exceeded my expectation in their rookie season, for sure.
So if you listen to Monica not say that, and then the headline says she's going for Angel Reese, it's not as salacious as you may think. But what are the standings right now?
The Sky are the 7 seed, the Fever are the 8 seed.
Okay, so
they're both in the playoffs right now.
Right.
Sky's 9-12. Fever's 9-14 overall. I'm confused about something, though. The Fever had the #1 overall pick. They were a worse team coming into this year. The Sky had the 7th. I don't know if there were trades involved to get them up there, and they were actually higher in the standings. And also, I hate that Monica McNutt continues to say these things that get me angry about it. It's not an even split. Yes, their games together are the highest rated of the season, but now show me Caitlin Clark's games without Angel Reese on the other side versus people that are flocking to watch Angel Reese only when she's not playing Caitlin Clark. It's totally different in terms of impact, and she's wanting to paint it as it's the same impact. It's just, it's not. Well, and that's no knock on Angel Reese.
But it's still a discussion. It's not a debate. And again, she's not taking the stance that Hub Arkush would take.
No. I have no big issue with anything
if
she
she's going
said.
standings, I mean, we'll see.
Other than the,
they're battling back and forth.
The implication that both deserve equal credit for attention. That's not true. Now we can have the discussion about who deserves Rookie of the Year. That's fine. And she had laid out good points.
What they have to
on
do,
that, but
they have to get more players garnering more attention. Than just
you know what they have to do? They need to get both of those women in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's what needs to happen. That's what I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for both teams to be in the playoffs because it's a great storyline.
75% of the league gets in the playoffs.
So
right?
Right now,
how many teams are not in the playoffs right now?
Right now, only the Atlanta Dream, Washington Mystics, LA Sparks, and Dallas Wings are out of the playoffs. Your playoff teams as of today, Hutton.
I can't tell you one player on any of those teams.
Count the amount of teams with an S at the end of their name.
Okay.
Very few. Okay. Liberty, Sun, Lynx with an X.
Wow.
Aces, Storm, Mercury, Sky, Fever. One team with an S at the end of it. One.
Thank you, Aces.
Mystics, Sparks, Wings, out.
And Vegas, they do have the ace on their team, averaging like 28 points per game.
They're going for a three-peat.
Yeah, man. Texas, they're going to get back to the playoff? Expanded playoff.
I can't wait to talk to our next guest because we always want the insider's perspective of the outsiders.
Yes.
And the amount of people who believe that it's impossible to enter the SEC and have success right away. I present to you Gary Pinkel in Missouri, who won their damn division the first 2 times. Missouri, not exactly a football powerhouse. And I am Mr. SEC. I'm an SEC guy. But those acting like Texas isn't going to walk in and have success, they're going to have success. That roster's going to have plenty of success early on.
And it's the top 2 teams making it to Atlanta.